Welcome to the Future Strong podcast. Today we're getting into a really timely conversation sparked by a recent Guardian article. It featured the psychologist Jonathan Haidt and his book, The Anxious Generation.
Yeah, that article really laid out his core message. It's quite an urgent warning, wouldn't you say? He's really concerned about digital tech's impact on kids' mental health.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sees it as maybe the key driver behind the crisis and, child and teen mental health. He's sort of on a mission with this.
Absolutely. And for you listening, what we want to do today is really unpack what that Guardian article covered. We'll look at Haidt's main points, his proposed solutions, but also, importantly, the debates and criticisms around his ideas.
Think of it as your shortcut to getting up to speed on a really critical conversation that's happening right now.
Okay, so Haidt's background. The article mentions he's at NYU's business school. But his real focus, it seems, is using research, moral psychology, other fields to help us understand each other.
And to help our institutions, work better.
Exactly. So his central claim, the big one the article highlights, is that smartphones and social media are, well, mostly to blame for this sharp decline in youth mental health.
And he pins it to a specific time frame, right? Starting around 2010.
Around then. And the article lays out the evidence he uses. Things like big jumps in anxiety, depression, self-harm rates, even suicide rates among young people.
It mentions concrete data, too, like more ER visits in the U.S. for self-inflicted injuries in that age group.
Right. And Haidt's point, according to the article, is that this isn't just about people being more aware or getting diagnosed more often. He believes it's a real fundamental downturn in well-being.
And, if you're listening, maybe you're a parent, an educator, or just looking around, it's hard not to be concerned by that trend he's describing. Makes you ask, what changed so dramatically?
Well, Haidt gives it a name. He calls it the Great Rewiring.
The Great Rewiring. Okay.
Yeah, his argument, as the article explains it, is that the whole structure of childhood changed. It shifted from being, play-based to largely phone-based.
And that leads him to his proposed solutions. The Guardian article calls them his 4 norms. What's the first?
First one's pretty stark.
Yeah.
No smartphones before age 14.
14. Okay. And the second?
No social media until 16.
So specific age gates there? What's number 3?
Number 3, make schools completely phone-free zones.
Right. And the last one? It's not just about tech limits, is it?
No, not at all. The fourth is crucial for him, advocating for much more unsupervised play and kind of childhood independence.
That point about play is really interesting. The article mentions Haidt contrasts how we parent now versus, say, previous generations.
Exactly. He argues we've got this weird situation, overprotection in the physical worldless free play outside, more supervision.
Even though crime rates might have been higher historically for boomers or Gen X kids playing outside.
Right. And at the same time, we have underprotection online. Kids are exposed to the digital world with fewer guardrails.
So what's a consequence of losing that free play, according to Haidt in the article?
He sees it as stunting development. Kids miss out on learning vital skills organically. Things like, cooperation, resolving conflicts with peers without adults stepping in, managing risk, facing fears.
The article used that example from a Netflix show, Adolescence, didn't it? Parents feeling safe because their kid was upstairs on a computer.
Yeah, it highlights that shift in perception about where safety and risk lie. It's really thought-provoking.
Okay, so he proposes these norms, but putting them into practice, especially if you have teens already deep into social media, that's tough. The article addresses that, right?
It does. Haidt acknowledges the difficulty. He suggests, based on the article, that if you just recently gave a younger teen a phone, yes, you can actually take it back, maybe swap it for a basic phone.
But for older teens, say 15, 16, where their whole social life might be online.
Yeah, he gets that cutting them off completely could be devastating. The article uses his phrase, social death.
So what's the alternative then for those parents?
His advice shifts more towards regaining control of attention, creating significant tech-free zones and times. And the big one he emphasizes, something he mentioned wishing he'd done differently with his own kids.
No screens in the bedroom, ever.
Exactly. No screens in the bedroom. He banned social media early for his daughter, but he thinks that bedroom rule might have been even more critical.
This is where the conversation really shifts to the academic debate, which the Guardian piece covers well. Correlation versus causation.
The classic question. Is tech use causing the problems, or are they just happening at the same time?
And the article brings in critics, specifically mentioning psychologist Candace Odgers and her review in Nature, What's her take, as presented?
Odgers argues basically that when researchers looked for strong, direct causal links, they found, quote, a mix of no, small, and mixed associations.
So not a clear slam dunk for causation.
Right. She emphasizes most data is correlational, and she proposes an alternative. Maybe kids with pre-existing issues are drawn to use social media in harmful ways rather than the tech itself being the primary cause.
The article quotes her criticizing Haidt for not, in her view, properly applying that correlation-causation distinction in his conclusions.
But Haidt has his rebuttals, as the article notes.
Right.
He says he's drawing on, quote, dozens of papers.
He mentions a specific meta-analysis.
Yes, one combining 26 studies. He claims it showed a 13% higher risk of depression for each extra hour on social media.
And he also points fingers at the tech companies themselves.
He does. The article references him citing internal reports, like one from TikTok, that he argues show the companies know young users are vulnerable, sensitive to social rewards, poor at self-regulation.
He thinks they know kids are susceptible.
That's his argument. He also speculates a bit in the article about why some academics might push back. Maybe a desire to protect kids from blame, or echoes of past debates like the one over violent video games.
And the article mentions he actively engages with these critiques. He has a Substack.
Yeah, afterbabble.com.
Yeah.
He uses it to respond directly to skeptics. The Guardian piece paints him as someone who enjoys the debate, a bit of a gadfly.
Though the journalist also adds a note of caution, suggesting maybe that intense focus on debate could affect his broader message sometimes.
It's a fair observation.
Now, the article connects this whole discussion to Haidt's earlier work, too, doesn't it? The coddling of the American mind.
It does, and specifically his focus on viewpoint diversity on university campuses.
And it touches on how he sees that relating to the broader political climate in the U.S. The article mentions the Trump administration's actions regarding universities.
Yes, and it presents Haidt's perspective, his view, as reported that certain aspects of campus culture perhaps fueled some backlash, while he also strongly condemns certain administration actions and the weaponization of issues like anti-Semitism.
But the article's clear. He's consistently against government overreach in universities, even while pushing for more diverse viewpoints within them.
Right, and it also notes his own political self-description has evolved over time.
So he sees these issues, tech, mental health, campus culture, politics, as interconnected. And looking forward, the article says he's worried about something else big on the horizon.
AI, artificial intelligence. He's concerned about how quickly it's developing and weaving itself into everything.
How quickly does he think?
The article mentions his estimate is maybe just within the next couple of years for really widespread entanglement.
Wow. And his deepest fear, mentioned near the end of the article.
It's pretty stark. He expresses serious worry about potential social collapse, particularly for liberal democracies.
Why specifically them?
Because, as the article presents his view, they rely on shared facts, shared narratives, trusted institutions. And he fears this rapid technological change, AI included, is eroding those foundations.
It's a heavy note to end on, but it really emphasizes the urgency he feels, which the article captures.
Yeah, his push isn't just academic. It's about protecting kids now in 2025 so they can become resilient adults capable of handling whatever future challenges arise. They need to be in control of their attention, he argues.
So wrapping up our look at this Guardian article on Jonathan Haidt, we have his powerful argument linking tech to the youth mental health crisis and his very concrete, if challenging, proposed norms.
But we also have, as the article clearly shows, a significant ongoing debate. Is it causation? Correlation? The academic world is still wrestling with the evidence, and different people interpret it differently.
It certainly highlights the complexity. It's not a simple fix, which leaves us with a thought to consider.
Given this breakneck speed of technological change we talked about, with AI and whatever comes next, how fast can society, our norms, our institutions actually adapt to protect vulnerable groups, especially kids?
And maybe on a more personal level in this landscape, how much control do we really have or can we cultivate over our own attention and development? What's our role versus the role of broader societal changes? Lots to think about there.